Monster Jam fans, and welcome back to another commentary here on the channel today. This is the fourth Houston show of 2021. What an incredible year we've had so far here in Monster Jam. The first three Houston shows have been off the rails, and we're excited to wrap up the second weekend of Houston shows here with the February 7th show before we get into the two shows that I was at in Houston the next weekend. This is a really cool commentary today. Again, we're back for the second weekend of commentaries here in 2021. Now, a very special announcement here that we are going to be having. I released a post on my channel last night giving a little teaser. Sunday, we are going to be having a very special commentary for the first time on this channel. We are going to be doing a live commentary. I'm going to be live streaming the commentary right here. The reactions will be live. Everything you'll be seeing will be taking place live right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Mountain Time, 4 o'clock Pacific. So make sure you're here for that. Let's get into the show today, shall we? We start things off with racing. In the near lane, we have Jamie Garner and Overboard. To the far lane, Jim Kohler and Avenger. Now the racing competition tonight, there are 12 trucks that are battling for one racing championship. They're going to have to go head-to-head to try and take home that trophy. Jamie Garner in the lead, and Jim Kohler on his sidewalls will not finish the race. Jamie Garner is going to take home a win tonight. Jim Kohler is going to actually finish the race. He decides to come back around at the end just in case, but for right now, Jamie Garner moving on to the next round. The second matchup here in round one of racing. In the near lane, we have Corey Rummel and Rage. In the far lane, Max D-Fire, piloted by Tom Mentz. Corey Rummel in Rage, a very fast racer. He loves taking these turns at very high speeds, but Tom Mentz is also a very good racer. They're down to the wire at the turn. Going over the jump, it's Corey Rummel, it looked like, but we may have to get another look at that one because that might have been too close to call. Oh wow, Max D-Fire did take home that win there. It looked like Corey Rummel had a lead to the jump, but it seems like Mentz's momentum pulled him ahead. Round one of racing continuing on here with two drivers that have spent a lot of the last few years in arenas. In the near lane, it's Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger. In the far lane, Bari Musauer and Zombie. These two are used to racing head-to-head in much smaller conditions, making really tight turns. We'll see how they match up here in round one. Bari Musauer spent a lot more time in stadiums throughout his career, so he could have the upper hand. He's taken out some elite drivers in racing competitions. Kristen Anderson holding on to the end, but Bari Musauer taking home the win. Kristen Anderson getting wild as she flips over, and that truck is demolished. I highly doubt they'll be able to get her back out for the skills competition. The real question is, will freestyle be in the cards for her? That truck is destroyed. Now the final pairing of round one in the near lane, Adam Anderson Megalodon against Lindsey Reed in Scooby-Doo. Adam Anderson, a four-time Monster Jam World Finals racing champion. Lindsey Reed has won a major racing event as well, a one-time showdown champion, so this could be a good matchup. Adam Anderson taking it very wide down the straightaway to enter that turn wide, but that could help him as he has a lead going to the jump, and it pays off. It's Adam Anderson with a pretty simple victory there as Lindsey Reed made a mistake in the final turn. We are now in round two action, Monster Jam fans. In the near lane, he won his first race in round one, Jamie Garner and Overboard, and then one of the four drivers that got a bye run into this round is in the far lane, that's Cole Bernard in the Black Pearl. Because there's 12 trucks, four drivers get automatic bye runs into the second round. Cole Bernard going up against his boss, Jamie Garner, who looks a little squirrely going to the final turn. Garner takes a turn wide, Bernard cuts a nice turn, and Cole Bernard is the winner heading to the semifinals. The next matchup here in round two are two elite Monster Jam drivers. The near lane, it's Tom Mentz and Max D-Fire. The far lane, Ryan Anderson in the Dragonoid. Ryan Anderson, a one-time world racing champion. Tom Mentz has so many, I don't even know how many he has. I think he's got 7 racing championships. Both of them looking fast. The turn is what decides it all. Both with a good turn. At the last second, it looks like Ryan Anderson held on, and indeed he did. Ryan Anderson, the winner of the race. Matchup 3 of 4 here in round 2. In the near lane, we have Bari Musauer and Zombie, and in the far lane, we have Mohawk Warrior, that's piloted by Bryce Kenny. Bryce Kenny, our first shot of him here in the racing competition. Musauer already has one race under his belt. Oh, Musauer got a little kicked up there in that turn. He's going to have to make it up in the straightaway and the final turn. We'll see if Bryce Kenny can hold on. Indeed he will. Bryce Kenny, the winner of the race, and Musauer getting monstrous air there, but Bryce Kenny nonetheless is your winner. The final matchup of round 2 is another pairing of elites. In the far lane, we have Monster Energy driven by Todd the Duke, and the near lane, we have Adam Anderson in the pilot of Megalodon. Monster Energy, a very good racer. Adam Anderson, though, was smooth in the first round. The fact that he has one race under his belt might help him. LeDuc is going to have to take home this one in the final turn. Such a close race. I can't tell. Seems like it might have been Monster Energy. That was way too close right there at the final line for me to make an eyeball guess. Megalodon and Adam Anderson, in fact, your winner here in round 2. Moving on. We now start the semifinals off with a pairing of childhood buddies. The winner of this race between Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl and Ryan Anderson and the Dragonoid will go to the final round here in Houston. Cole Vennard won the racing competition on the February 6th show, so this is the night after. He is looking to win in back-to-back nights, sweeping the weekend in racing. And Ryan Anderson's going to look to knock his friend down here in the semis. Oh, Ryan Anderson flipping over, and that is going to be the end of his racing night. Cole Vennard is handed the racing victory here in this semifinal round. One more matchup here in the semifinals to determine the matchup in the final round. In the far lane, we have Adam Anderson creeping up to the line in the Megalodon, and in the near lane, we have Bryce Kenny in the Mohawk Warrior. These two have looked good all night long. This is set to be a good matchup. However, Bryce Kenny needs to get that truck started. And he does. He's creeping up to the line as well. Once he hits that line, we will have green, and we'll get to finish this semifinal round off. Both of them good off the line. The first and final turns are so important here. Both of them cutting good first turns. Adam Anderson's been going wide all night. Bryce Kenny takes it tight and then gets wide. And Adam Anderson with a problem in the turn as Bryce Kenny is moving to the final round, winning here in the semifinals. It's time for the Monster Jam Racing Finals here in Houston. The winner of this matchup will move on to the winner's circle tonight and will take home 12 points on the road to the overall event championship. In the far lane, he has been on fire all weekend long. He won the racing competition in last night's event, and he is trying to win back-to-back here tonight. He is looking to sweep the entire event. He beat Bakugan Dragonoid in the last round. It's Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl. Now in the near lane, he's getting to come back because neither Adam Anderson or Bryce Kenny could make it back here into this round. He is coming in. He was smooth all night, but looking to get some revenge on the Black Pearl. It's Ryan Anderson in the Dragonoid. As I mentioned in their last matchup, Cole Vennard and Ryan Anderson are childhood best friends matching up here. This is going to be a very intense race between two who want to beat each other so badly. They are off, and Ryan Anderson getting to be in the other lane from when he flipped over last time. We'll see if that'll make a difference when he tries to get to that final turn. And again, Ryan Anderson on his side, and for the second straight race, he hands the win to Cole Vennard. Cole Vennard getting a racing win tonight easily. His last two races, he just needed to complete the race, as Ryan Anderson doing the same thing on opposite sides of the track. Cole Vennard, your racing winner tonight, will then lead us now into the skills competition, and starting us off here is Jim Kohler in Avenger Fire. Now the skills competition is where these drivers will have two options. They can either do two moves on two wheels, which is what Kohler's opting to do here, getting a nice sky wheelie to stop him to start himself off, or you can do a nice donut. Both will count the same in the scoring. Now Kohler is coming out first here because he was the loser of the very first race of the night. The skills competition lineup is lined up in the reverse order of how they placed in racing. He is lining up for another sky wheelie here. Doesn't want to get this beautiful Avenger Fire body destroyed just yet. He's got freestyle to go, but he's going to do it anyway. A beautiful sky wheelie getting airborne there.
Two very good hits from Jim Kohler in Avenger Fire. That is a 7.650, a good way to start off. Next up here in the Skills Challenge, this is Rage, driven by Corey Rummel. Corey Rummel getting a nice sky wheelie there and popping it into a slap wheelie, walking it down. Corey Rummel, a solid first hit. You see that back end of the truck is already off. He's got some body damage. He doesn't care. He's just going out there to tear it up. Lining up for his final move here, putting it in, trying to go for a stoppie. It's not going to work very well. The score from Rage is a 6.387. Your current leader still, Avenger Fire. Now trying to take the lead away from Jim Kohler in Avenger Fire is Lindsey Reed in Scooby-Doo. Getting a nice sky wheelie there. Going to pop it into a slap wheelie as well, trying to follow what Corey Rummel and Rage did. Now, it's also important to remember that if a driver attempts a move that someone else has done, they have to do it better. And if they don't, you've got to decrease their scores a little bit. But that was definitely better than Corey Rummel's slap wheelie. She does have one more move to go here to get a good score, trying to win her first skills competition of the year. Puts it in a reverse popper, and the truck, unbalanced, is going to flop over on its lid. Scooby-Doo is going to finish on the roof. It is a 6.475, not enough for the lead. Coming out next here in the Skills Challenge, this is, I know you can't tell, Jamie Garner and Overboard. There's the only piece of that body left as he is going to whip it into a donut here. Jamie Garner's such a good guy at doing donuts, but he kicks into that ramp. He was a little too close there. That's the end of his run. Overboard is going to get a 7.386. Not enough for the lead. Jim Kohler still sitting there. Number 5 in the Skills Challenge is Tom Menson, Max D Fire, as he is lining up here for the backflip ramp, lining up for what his patented move is, the maximum moonwalk. He's going to put it on the front two wheels and just walk it right now. Such a tough move to do, but all the weight of that truck is sitting on those front two wheels. He's lucky that he's got the motor in the front to help him out a little bit because it's naturally balanced that way, but he's going to set it down. A good first hit. The first driver to attempt this, well, not the first driver to attempt one, but the first driver to get a stoppie tonight. So that's got to help him out in the scoring. You also want to see if a driver does a move you haven't seen yet in the night. That's creativity. That is going to help his scores out. He's lining up for his second hit here. Puts it on the front two wheels again, and he's walking it there. He's trying to balance that truck out and hold it on the front two wheels, and he does so perfectly. It takes the perfect amount of throttle rhythm to get yourself there, and that is going to be it. So a solid stoppie there from Max D Fire. The score is a 9.254. Your new leader, Max D Fire. Now after Max D just took the lead, Bari Musauer in Zombie going to try and take it right away from him. He's going to whip it into a donut here. Going to make those zombie arms wave. The Guinness World Record holder for the most donuts completed in a minute. So you know Bari Musauer can handle some spin cycles. And a great donut there from Zombie. The score is an 8.538. Not good enough to take the lead, but it will get him in second. Now coming back after he couldn't make it back to the final round in the racing competition. It's Bryce Kenny in the Mohawk Warrior coming out for the skills event. And to put it into a stoppie on the front two wheels. He gets it to balance perfectly, throwing it now in reverse, moonwalking it up the ramp. A very good first hit from Mohawk Warrior. Bryce Kenny, always good at the stoppie. He has really learned a lot in the last year in the Skills Challenge. It's such a drastic difference from when he started performing in the Skills Challenge to today. The things he has learned are so much more difficult to complete. Lining up for his second hit here. He's on the front two wheels again, doing the same move he just did, but just facing the other way. Giving the fans on the other side of the track a good little view of the bottom of the truck. He's going to moonwalk it back up the ramp. So two good hits there. You also got to keep in mind that Tom Mentz attempted the same move, so you have to compare the two. Mohawk Warrior is going to score a 9.168. Not enough for the lead, but still a good run. Now up, it is the Dragonoid, driven by Ryan Anderson. Got knocked out in the final round of racing tonight, looking to get some redemption. Putting it onto the right side of the truck and a nice little bicycle here. Cannot quite get the moonwalk. Now, it's also important to note that Gravedigger and Megalodon are not competing here in this competition. They are too broken. We'll see if both of them can get back for the race, for the freestyle competition. All that's left here in this event is Black Pearl after the Dragonoid. So Ryan Anderson's score here is going to be really important. He's putting it on the sidewalls, and a sidewall save. What a move from the Dragonoid. That move took so much skill. That might be enough to take the lead. And indeed it is. It's a 9.475. He's got them on their feet. Ryan Anderson and the Dragonoid. The final truck out here looking to double down after winning racing is the Black Pearl. He's trying to beat Ryan Anderson. It's going to be either Anderson or Vernard here, but Vernard is going to whip it into a donut. Going to be hard to take the lead with this. He is certainly whipping it into one killer donut, though. That Black Pearl is spinning around, and he's going to call it quits there. The score for Black Pearl is a 9.154. But wait, they've just announced that there's one more truck coming out, and that is Monster Energy. So he will be the last truck out here. Continuing along and finishing off our skills challenge tonight is Todd the Duke and Monster Energy trying to beat out the Dragonoid. He is lining up for a slap wheelie, and he's got that tail dragging along the dirt already. A beautiful slap wheelie for Monster Energy for the first hit, but he's shut down. With one move to go here, Monster Energy getting refired is going to try and take the lead away from Ryan Anderson. It's going to be tough. He's going to need to do something impressive here. He's on the right side of the truck, going for a similar move to what Ryan Anderson did, but it doesn't work out. He is on his lid. Monster Energy is done. The score is an 8.986. So Ryan Anderson in the Dragonoid is your skills winner tonight. Kicking us off in the freestyle competition here, this is Bari Musauer in Zombie. His 2 minutes on the clock begin right now. 2 minutes to do whatever he wants here on this track. Now, unfortunately, Adam Anderson in Megalodon does not get to compete here in this competition. He blew a motor in racing and will not get to finish his night tonight. So, unfortunately, Adam Anderson's day was not very long here in this event. So only 11 trucks are battling for that freestyle championship, which means the odds for a guy like Bari Musauer to win tonight just went up a little bit more, and he's going to help himself out with moves like that. Now, when you're looking to score an event, because the fans do score the freestyle and skills competition, you're looking for air, momentum, wow moments. Really, anything that catches your eye is good for a freestyle run. You don't want to give them a high score because it's your favorite truck or driver. That doesn't matter. You're judging the run itself, and that is what you have to be looking for here. And Zombie so far is starting off pretty well. Bari Musauer definitely going to be a contender for multiple freestyle championships throughout his Monster Jam career. Always been a great freestyler. And he always seems to be a great guy to come out first in a competition because he teases the fans for what is to come later with a solid run. Musauer's a guy who doesn't really throw in many wow moments. He will every once in a while, but he's going to get some nice air like that. He cases it in there, the truck fortunately okay. I mean, some of his most memorable first runs came out in some really big events, the most notable one being in the All-Star Challenge 2019. He came out first and had one of the biggest moves of the night, the first driver out, and he hit the triple jump. Definitely was a cool moment for Musauer. He almost won that event as well as the hand goes flying off. He's down in his last couple of seconds here. Might only have time for one more move. Spins that truck around in time to get his final hit in there. Maybe not. The run was not over quite yet. I thought he had a lot less time than I realized, but now his run is done. And he's going to plant it on top of that pod to give a little wave to the fans. Zombie starting us off nicely. That is a 7.430. It's time for Lindsay Reed here in Scooby-Doo as she gets ready here. Bari Musauer set a pretty solid bar here in freestyle for Lindsay Reed to try and meet.
with a 7.430. Lindsay Reed, the 2019 Monster Jam World Finals Freestyle Champion, so we know that she's got some freestyling in her. Always been a solid freestyler. She's had some of the best moments overseas with some insane saves in many different countries. One of the drivers that has had the privilege of being able to travel across the world with Monster Jam here in this Scooby-Doo truck. She's really made her name in the Scooby-Doo and Monster Jam name well known in many different places because of her moves. So far, kind of, her momentum is not as good as it can be right now. A nice combo move there. Big air into the wheelie. Now that is something we haven't seen yet tonight. As I said in the skills challenge, it's important to see drivers do moves you have not seen. So for something like that, a move that nobody has done, even though only one driver's come out, Bari Musauer did not do that. It is important to keep that in mind. However, Scooby-Doo's momentum is definitely significantly lower than what we saw at a zombie, so you have to factor that in. She's not getting the air that Musauer got. She's not getting the momentum. Unless she gets one big wow moment at the end, it's going to be hard for her to take the lead. It's going to be close because of that one move in the middle of the run. But for right now, it just seems like the truck is not really working as well as it can. She's trying to throw in nice big moves like that, but I mean, Lindsay Reed has historically been a driver who doesn't have great momentum, but she fills her run with big air and wow moments. So I haven't really seen any of those wow moments or big air, and if she has, it really hasn't been enough for her to take the lead. The clock is winding down, and that is the end of her run. So Scooby-Doo, and I pull it back to the pits. The score is a 6.828, not quite enough for her to take the lead. Now coming out in freestyle, this is Corey Rummel in range, trying to knock Zombie out of the hot seat as he will start his run off pretty well. Corey Rummel is a guy that you can expect to get a lot of big air and really good momentum in his run. That is what Corey Rummel is best at. He is the king of getting big air. A multi-time Extreme Air Award winner. Now, Corey Rummel, a member of Team Scream. The other member of that team that is here today is Avenger, a much more known name, but Corey Rummel, a member of that team. He builds all the trucks, but they travel across the country throughout the year, and they do a bunch of smaller independent shows where they tear it up in events where Monster Jam doesn't normally go, as he gets some nice air there, a little teaser for what I'm sure he's got planned for later on. Getting a nice little hit there. So Corey Rummel, I mean, the main thing you really have to beat right now, the thing you're looking for, you've got to have solid momentum and pretty good air right now. That's all you need to do to take the lead. Has solid momentum and solid air, and right now Corey Rummel is pretty much hitting all of those boxes that you need, I would say, to take the lead away from Musauer. However, to win the freestyle competition, he's probably going to need to do a little bit more than he's doing right now, because he's getting a few spots like that in the run where he's wasting a little bit of time by getting stuck up. Now, you'll see on that ribbon board there, when that ribbon board goes yellow, there are 30 seconds left in the freestyle. Not sure what's going on here. He might be having a problem with the truck. Oh, he's trying to throw it in reverse. That's something new that we have not seen this year. So you've got to factor that into your scoring, but it seems like that might have hurt the truck a little bit there. And to continue along with his run, he didn't really get a great reverse move, but that's something really different. Not a single driver has attempted that this year, so that's really big for his run. I would say right now, I mean, the momentum and air have been pretty much similar to Bari Musauer, and he did throw in a small little wow moment there, so Corey Rummel might have enough to take the lead here. However, he will not take the lead of that is a current 7.430. It's a 7.220 for Rage, a solid run nonetheless. Bari Musauer still sitting in the hot seat, but this guy is going to try and take him right out of it. This is Black Pearl Colvinard. Bari Musauer came out first, and he sat there now through the first, well, for the first 3 runs, basically, even though he's only seen 2. But the 4th freestyler here, one racing tonight, you know he wants to bring home his second piece of hardware. Colvinard also finished pretty high in the skills challenge, so if he wins freestyle, he has a very good shot at taking home that overall event trophy. So that could possibly be a 3-trophy night for Cole Bernard. Not very often you walk out of an event in the stadiums with 3 trophies. However, Cole Bernard has done it before. He is a guy who has won racing and freestyle in the same event. He's also a guy who's won the overall event championship in some of those shows. He is just a good driver, and when he's really on, this guy's really difficult to beat. And he's going to launch it there for some sick air. Again, really what you need to look for here in this freestyle, you need some pretty good air and momentum. Right now, Cole Bernard, I would say, is exceeding that. Cole Bernard, a guy who is going to give you that solid air, the solid momentum, but what he really does best is when he gets a nice, crazy wow moment. He is very good at those. His signature move, the walk the plank, where he lands a backflip and walks a wheelie after it. A move like that could be enough to win him the freestyle event most nights. It seems like he's lining up for the backflip ramp. He has not attempted a backflip yet this year. Black Pearl, the first attempt of the night. He really over-rotates it, and that truck is going to end on its lid. However, that might be enough to take the lead. An attempted backflip and a solid run all around. Indeed, he will. The score is at 8.624. Black Pearl is your new leader over Zombie. Now freestyling, we have Ryan Anderson in the Dragonoid. He's going to try and really live through his brother's going to try and live through him. As Adam Anderson not getting to freestyle tonight, Ryan Anderson going to try and tear it up. This is the last show of the weekend as well, so the drivers can really destroy their trucks and not worry about them being ready for tomorrow. Ryan Anderson, a one-time Monster Jam World Finals freestyle champion. That was back in 2018. Also won the racing championship in 2017. He is all around probably the best monster truck driver to ever live. He is so good at what he does. And when he's at his best, he can win every racing, skills, and freestyle competition until someone beats him. This year, though, because he is driving a different chassis, he's trying to get used to it still. It's also important to note that Adam Anderson's in the same boat, too. Adam Anderson driving that Megalodon chassis. It's not his chassis. And in that very first weekend of driving the Megalodon truck, he hurt his back. And that Megalodon chassis is hurting his back while he drives it. So he's been trying to drive it a little bit carefully in these last couple of shows because he's just trying to get used to it, doesn't want to hurt himself. But Ryan Anderson, clearly not worried about himself because he just throws himself around in that truck. Lining up for the backflip here. So far, 2 drivers have attempted it. Nobody's completed it. Oh my goodness, what a move! Oh, and he tipped over the dumpster, and it went back! How about that? The dumpster hit the ground and bounced back to where it was. That is a crazy move. That was an insanely difficult move to pull off. I don't think they're going to let him refire, though. But the first driver to complete a backflip tonight.
Will he be able to complete his run?
Oh, he refires, so how about that? Ryan Anderson, he's checked off all the boxes. He's now completed a backflip, which is something no one's done tonight. He's had great air, great momentum. I mean, he's certainly on track to take the lead if he can fill the clock. Yeah, they're not going to let him fill the clock here. Unfortunately, Ryan Anderson is done. The score's an 8.903. I think a lot of that factors into that he didn't fill the clock there. So unfortunately, that is going to hurt his scores. Now we have Jim Kohler in Avenger Fire, a 2-time Monster Jam World Finals freestyle champion. Going to try and knock Bryce Kenny out of the hot seat. Now it's important to note that Ryan Anderson did complete the first backflip of the night, but Bryce Kenny still sits in the lead. So the checklist right now, you need to have good air, good momentum, and an attempted backflip here to try and take home a win. And if you don't attempt a backflip, you need a really nice wow moment. Jim Kohler, a guy who he really can check off all 3 of those boxes quite nicely, as you see there. That was great air, and it's just the beginning of his run. Jim Kohler, Mr. Excitement is what he's called, primarily because of the excitement he brings to the track, and he's going to just stuff it into the side of that jump. It doesn't matter that he's 30 seconds in. He just gave his truck full reign to do whatever it wanted there.
But Jim Kohler, known as Mr. Excitement because of the excitement he has on and off the track. He is a very lively and spirited person off the track, and when he's on the track, he gets some of the biggest air in the history of Monster Truck. Dating back to 2019's All-Star Challenge, continuing to cross-thread moves. Also something we have not seen anybody do tonight. That is important when you're scoring. But in that All-Star Challenge in 2019, oh my goodness! Avenger fire, a little barrel roll there. I mean, Jim Kohler's just throwing his truck all around. He's already checked off that wow moment box that we needed. Now he just needs to fill the clock. So like I was saying, if Jim Kohler would let me talk, I mean, he's just going insane here. In the 2019 All-Star Challenge, he had some of the biggest monster truck air ever when he just launched his truck to start off his run. The front two wheels broke off on the landing, a hard impact. He's lining up for the mini flip here. Bryce Kenny attempted this. Oh my goodness, he does not land it. Never mind. So he was right there, but gave it a little too much gas at the end, and unfortunately, that's it. But I mean, he did the same thing Bryce Kenny did. He had nice air, nice momentum. He attempted the backflip, but he also had a huge wow moment in there, so that should put him ahead. And indeed it will, to 9.484. Your new leader is Avenger. Now coming out here in freestyle, trying to take the lead away from his independent buddy Jim Kohler. It's Jamie Garner and Overboard, launching it off the start. Insane air, announcing his presence. We have an updated checklist here, fans, for the freestyle competition. You need to have good air, good momentum. Oh my, insane air so far. You need to have very good air, very good momentum. You also are going to need to have a wow moment and an attempted backflip in there. Jamie Garner so far has gotten the air and the momentum checked off. I think if he gets that backflip, he could put himself in a good spot, because oftentimes completing a backflip might negate the need for a wow moment. It's important to note so far that nobody's cleanly landed a backflip tonight. 4 drivers have attempted it. Jamie Garner's teammate Cole Venard also attempted a backflip before, completely destroyed the truck, so you wonder maybe that'll make Garner take it a little bit easier, maybe just go for the big air. Instead of having 2 trucks to repair mightily, you only have 1. Jamie Garner has destroyed the body on that truck in almost every show this year. He might be having some issues here, though. Oh, he figured it out. It seems like there was something. No, it seems like he's not getting any kick going forward there. Not sure what's going on. I think that's going to have to be the end of the run there for Jamie Garner.
30 seconds left.
Not sure what's going on here for Jamie Garner and Overboard. Oh, he's going to try and make something work out of it. Seems like he has no front steer. I think that's the problem. He has no front steering on this truck. And if he does, he can't control it. I think that's the problem. I don't think he has any control of his front steering. He's still trying to... Yeah, he has no control. You just saw those front wheels spinning all around. He's still trying to put down a good run, though. I mean, I got to give him credit because he's certainly doing a good job, but that truck is fighting him every step of the way. Unfortunately, that is going to be it for Overboard. The score for him, an 8.893, so he had a solid run, just not enough for him to take the lead. Coming out next here in freestyle, this is Monster Energy, Todd LeDuc. Gonna line up for a slap wheelie here. Now, Todd LeDuc is a guy you can count on to get sick air. He's not a guy who's been much of a momentum person, but he's gonna get some really nice air in his run, and he's gonna just go hit to hit. He's not gonna necessarily be flying throughout the track and getting that sick air every hit, but he's gonna go hit to hit, get a good 2 minutes, and then probably throw down a backflip in there at some point, maybe even get a save. Right now, the checklist, there's 4 things you have to do. You need to fill the clock. Well, I wouldn't say you need to fill the clock. That would be helpful. But you need to have good air, pretty solid momentum. You need to attempt a backflip and have a wow moment in there. So 4 things to check off right now. I would say the momentum is pretty much about where you would want. He's going to need to get that air up there a little bit, though, because right now only 1 checkbox is currently filled. Currently just plowing through his run. Todd LeDuc, a 2-time World Finals champion. Lining up for the jammer now, getting some nice air. That's the biggest air of his run, but I do think he needs to get a little bit more air to check off that box of hitting the required hang time. Currently only 2 trucks remaining here in the freestyle competition as well, and Max D, Fire, and Gravedigger. Lining up for that jammer again, but I would just say that the air is not where you need it to be. I mean, your current leader, Jim Kohler and Avenger, had some really good air in there. I mean, I would say right now, Bryce Kenny had better air than Jim Kohler, but still Jim Kohler had the wow moment. So I would say he's getting around the same air, but he's not reaching that level that I would say he's had enough to possibly take the lead in the air category. He is getting some good air, though. I mean, it's no question that Todd LeDuc is certainly getting some hang time in this run, but I think he's going to need a nice wow moment here. Oh, my. Nice little save there. Just kind of, that was a weird move. I thought he was lining up for the mini flip, but he didn't. He just wanted to have a fun move. Going to line up for the bicycle here, and he gets a save right at the end. What a finish. That was such precision. He waited till the last moment to just kick the gas right at the end of the run. That does count for scoring as well. So, I mean, the momentum, I think he checked that box. The air, I don't think he checked it. He definitely checked the wow moment box, and he did not attempt a backflip. And it's going to reflect in the scores that it is an 8.992 for Monster Energy. The second to last truck out here in freestyle, still trying to knock off Avenger, is Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger. Right away like she might not have any rear steer there unless that was on purpose. Nice air again. Nobody's completed a backflip tonight, and Kristen Anderson has only completed 1 backflip in her Monster Jam career in a stadium. So this is going to be tough for her. The 4 things, again, just to remind you that you need to complete in this freestyle run in case you are joining us in order to take the lead away from Jim Kohler. You need to have pretty good momentum, some pretty solid air. A wow moment is definitely important, and I would say it's important to attempt a backflip. Right now, I would say that the momentum is kind of where you need to be, but I don't think she's checked off any boxes yet. I don't think she has any rear steer either. Yeah, she definitely doesn't have rear steer. She's going to try and make this run work with no rear steer, so that adds a little bit of a difficult factor to it, but it's also important to note that when you have a broken truck, you should also keep that in mind when scoring, that if you throw down a great run with a broken truck, it's so much harder to do that you got to give them props. But right now, she's really not figuring it out. Getting some solid air there, but I would say right now she has 0 boxes checked off trying to take that lead away, so she's going to need to pick it up a lot in this last minute or so. She's got 30 seconds remaining, so it's time to turn it on if you're Kristen Anderson. I know she has a broken truck, but I mean, there's not much more you can do right now. She needs to check off 4 boxes in order to try and take home a win tonight. So far, she's got none of them. Again, though, Kristen Anderson is in her first full year driving in stadium, so she's still trying to adjust. Oh boy, she is getting on the ragged edge there. A crazy save. That truck is destroyed, though. She broke that front end. So she checked off the wow moment box, but no other boxes were checked off there for Gravedigger. It's going to respond in her scores with an 8.899, so that wow moment at the end was primarily only luck because of her not having rear steer. She just kind of threw it around the turn, but it worked out nicely. Coming here freestyling last tonight, this is Max D. Tom Mentz. He's waited through 10 other trucks, and he's ready to take down Jim Kohler. Tom Mentz looking to start himself off right. The checklist tonight to try and win that Tom Mentz needs to do. Solid momentum, pretty good air, a wow moment, and an attempted backflip. I mean, for Tom Mentz, those are all easy things. And it's also important to note that if you exceed expectations in one or more categories, you really can kind of cross out another. I would say for every category that you exceed expectations by a solid amount, you can cross off another category as well. So I think if Mentz gets big air, nice momentum, and the backflip, he might not need to do a wow moment. Getting some solid air so far. I mean, Mentz is also I mean, in his entire career, he's never been a guy that's going to get the momentum like a Corey Rummel or an Adam Anderson. He kind of just goes hit to hit, and he'll throw in big air and wow moments. That's really what Tom Meents does. He is getting huge air right now, and I think it's safe to say he has certainly checked off the air box, and honestly, that momentum box is pretty much checked off too. I mean, Jim Kohler didn't have the greatest momentum because he was going hit to hit, getting crazy moves, so his momentum wasn't really up there with some of the earlier runs of the night. He was more focusing on the wow moments in the air. So Tom Meents, I would say, has checked off that air box. The momentum will check it off too because it's about the same. So that means he's going to have to try and get a backflip in here. No one has completed one tonight, so that should also really help his scoring.
30 seconds left.
Tom Meents, a 12-time Monster Jam World Finals Freestyle Champion. The body is starting to come off here of this Max D Fire truck as he is down to his final few seconds here in the Houston Freestyle competition. And he is launching it across the track, getting great air here. So he's not attempting the backflip, it seems. Getting solid air. I mean, I say if he doesn't attempt the backflip, I don't think he's overachieved in any of the categories as well. I mean, he's got the momentum in the big air, but he doesn't have a wow moment. Not attempting a backflip will probably hurt his scores. All important things to keep in mind here. He's going for a nice donut to wrap up the freestyle competition tonight. Let him hear it, fans. So that is going to be it. Tom Meents and Max D Fire trying to take the lead. The score to beat, a 9.484 from Avenger. The score for Max D Fire is a 9.056. Not enough for the lead tonight, meaning that your winner in freestyle today is Jim Kohler in Avenger Fire. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We're glad to have you guys all out here for another great commentary. It's been a great night tonight. Also, keep in mind, I am going to be doing a live commentary Sunday night. That is Sunday, February 28th, the very first live commentary. I'm excited to see you guys all out there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
056.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.